Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special edition of Ringside Chat. As you know, you see my co-host, it's Big Day Cool Stonewall. Myself, I'm Dirt. And we have a special guest, an honored guest here on Ringside Chat in the early history of the show. We have former Euro-Continental Champion, Dlo Brown.
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Dlo, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for coming out here to the Springfield Stadium, boys. And what's going on?
Oh man, we're just honored to be in your presence. A future WWE Hall of Famer.
Right here, ladies and gentlemen. If you call it, I'll write it in. Vince. What do you say?
Hey, trust me. We need to talk to Vince about WrestleMania in St. Louis.
I think we need to call him up right now. Get him on the telly. Say, yo, Vince. What's your name, Rob?
I know, WrestleMania in St. Louis. St. Louis is like a wrestling capital.
In St. Louis, they love me out of St. Louis. So.
Oh yeah, I've seen you a couple times. Bad Blood '97.
There you go.
And the Survivor Series '98.
St. Louis is definitely down with the Brown. That's all I can say about it.
Hey, we're definitely down with Brown.
Oh yeah. Once you go black.
Never go back.
Hey, I didn't say it, you did. You never go brown. Wait, once you go brown, you're always down. See, there we go,
What can Brown do for you?
Hey, it's copyright material. Come on, UPS will be all over us.
Hey, you know what? Helping the Stallions, maybe.
Hey, you got to get UPS, Springfield Stallions.
Yeah.
UPS, right there. Working hand in hand together. Anyway.
Speaking of which, you're bought ownership into the Stallions. What gave you the idea of, I don't want to come off critical, but what do you see in the Stallions in our small little town?
My friends Justin and Chris and I, we thought that a professional football team here in Springfield would be a great opportunity not only for the community to have something to rally around, but for us to become part of the community. We wanted to bring the best of sports and entertainment, not sports entertainment, big difference. The best of sports and entertainment here, to the capital city. And what better place to do it than right here in Springfield? And honestly, there's a lot of hard-earned money, blue-collar money in this city, and there's not a lot of competition for the dollar.
Right.
So we just want to bring a viable form of entertainment, a family-friendly form of entertainment to Springfield.
Of course, it's amazing that Dlo Brown chose the Stallions who almost won the championship in the 8FL, but now you guys are in the CIFL.
Yes.
And
we're looking. I was down watching the boys practice last night, and our offense was clicking. Our defense, they were clicking at times, but we still got 4 weeks to go for our first home game. So I guarantee you, we will be out there. We'll be competitive, and I didn't think the same deal about it. I'll motivate those kids. They're gonna do some damage.
of course, amazing schedule coming up. Opening game on March 24th.
No. First game is April 7th.
Here as a center. First home game.
Here at the Stampede here, not the Calgary Stampede, the Springfield Stampede, and we got Kalamazoo coming in, and the formal team, and but I know our boys can take care of it.
Speaking of the April 7th game, I understand you're going to put on a little. After the game, there's going to be some wrestling, and in fact, some of the people who are going to be there already been announced. Yeah,
some of the names that are going to be there are already confirmed. BKM, formerly known as the Road Dogg, Just James Badass, Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaws. I didn't say that out loud, but you know who they are. Former Tough Enough winner Maven will be here. The superhero training Rosie, the SHIT. He'll be here along with a real good friend of mine, Bo Buchanan. And we've got, those are just the names that are announced right now. We've got several other names that we can't actually air yet. But you'll be surprised and shocked by some of the names that will be added to the show.
Actually, when I saw it the other day, I was pretty shocked that you got Voodoo King Mafia, which I'm very a big fan, even though they were the Wolves.
Yeah, those guys.
Yeah.
And basically it's some friends of mine are coming in. Ron Simmons, he'll be here that night. I just hung out with him this past weekend, so he's real jacked and excited to be here. So got a bunch of my friends coming in and to make the opening day, the debut, the season opener, one to remember.
And speaking of we're going TNA. TNA's coming down to St. Louis, and Ringside Chat's totally going to be there that weekend. We got fanfare tickets, we got the event tickets, so we're hoping to get Voodoo King Mafia's autograph.
It's a very tough name to say. It's called BKM.
Yeah, because
not Vince McMahon.
No, not that guy.
No.
Oh, sorry.
The one that actually can wrestle, right?
Yeah. Wait, did I say that out loud? Yeah, that's it. So, TNA will be down there in St. Louis, and, a bunch of my friends will be down there as well. And, it'll be fun down there. But, let's not go down south. Let's keep it right here in Springfield. Come right back to the Springfield Stallions.
You actually wrestled in TNA for a while, didn't you?
Yeah, I was in TNA for a little while, but I was there about a year and chose to seek opportunities in Japan because
Speaking of which, that's one of my main questions. What have you been doing since you left TNA and left the national spotlight here in America?
Well, I went over to Japan, started wrestling full-time for All Japan Pro Wrestling, and just spent the better part of the last 3 years over there beating the dogs out of those Japanese kids. So,
what's the difference between American-style wrestling and the foreign wrestling?
Well, it's quote-unquote strong style, where you feel it a lot more. I'll just put it like that. You feel it a lot more.
Right. So, and the fans are pretty much different?
They're different because they look at it more as a sport. Where here it's entertainment in the States, where in Japan it's considered a legitimate sport and it's a legitimate competition.
Okay. So I want to get anything else for the...
How long have you actually been in wrestling? Total years?
Since 1994. God, I'm old now.
Can't be that old.
No, I'm not that old, but just your body just feels old. So I've been doing this since 94, 13 years,
and already had the gold.
Already had the gold and been to the mountaintop, and now I'm in the Far East, so I'm having fun.
That's good.
Just having a good old time.
Yeah, and I reading on the internet, one of these websites, you're a certified accountant?
Yep, that was my life before wrestling. I was a CPA at a Fortune 500 company in New York, and gave that all up one day and got my Honda Prelude and drove down to Tennessee and lived at the back of my car. I gave up 6 figures to make $6. So go figure.
Did say maybe The Rock gave you some financial advice?
Yeah, I was lucky enough where I was smart with money and not a moron, I don't want to say dumb, but not like some of the guys in wrestling who didn't know what to do with it. So,
right.
Being an accountant gave me the background and the wherewithal to marry a smart woman so she could manage my money.
Okay. You also, when you're, like I say, you debuted in 1994, and I believe it was in Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Yes.
And you were, I believe, a bodyguard for
the Gangsters, New Jack Mustafa.
Yeah, I was about to say. What's New Jack like? What's the guys like outside the ring?
What you see is what you get. There's no ifs or buts. I mean, Jack is a wild character. He's a good person, but just don't get on his bad side. I never plan on getting on his bad side because he'll cut you.
Yeah, I was watching Forever Hardcore documentary, and this talk about this wild stuff, like his ring rats and whatnot.
Yeah, he talked a lot about the ring rats in Philly, and
like he never got any ring rats.
No, I stay away from the ring rats. I totally stay away from them. I'm a married man.
Yeah. So it's Big Daddy Cold.
I stay complete. I just I push him to the side, walk right past him, get in my car, and drive home, call my wife, tell her how much I love her.
Push him to the curb.
Push him to the curb. Never even look at him twice.
Or put him down near the new Lincoln Library.
But you know what? I'll send him to your house if you like.
Hey, no problem. I'm getting my card out.
Okay.
My son might want one too.
Oh, hey, they're ring rats though. They'll go anywhere.
Yeah. Speaking of ECW.
Yeah.
You ever watched some of the new ECW? What do you think of it?
Maybe Sunday Night Heat with a champion? Is that what you mean? Sunday Night Heat with a champion? That's ECW?
Yeah, ECW.
That's Sunday Night Heat with a champion.
Ah,
That's
really?
all that show is.
Something new we learned about ECW.
Yeah.
It's Sunday Night Heat, they have the champion named Lashley.
Lashley's a very powerful athlete, I believe.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. And were you a supporter of the new ECW back in June?
Initially, I thought it could be a good thing when they talked about bringing back some of the quote-unquote originals. But, you know, ECW, when it first started, it was such a revolutionary product. Guys were out there sacrificing their bodies. And now you fast forward 10 years, these guys are 10 years old, they can't recreate that same magic. So initially I thought it was going to be that way, but then you saw the product that was out there and you knew it could never be the same.
Do you think Paul Heyman should have been let go by Vince McMahon?
No, because Paul Heyman's just a guy trying to make a living as well as anybody else. I mean, him getting let go would just free him up to do other things. So maybe in a good way, in a way, it would be a good thing if he got let go, because maybe he'd land in TNA, or maybe he'd create something totally different.
I know, watching hardcore documentary, watching those documentaries about ECW, there've been some powerful characters. I didn't know if you ever followed while you were in WWF at the time.
No, we kept our eye on ECW, and you know, the wrestling business is so small. You have friends everywhere. So even when you're in WWF or WWE, you still have friends in ECW. You know, I was real close to guys like the Sandman. I still kept in touch with New Jack, and you know, guys like Chris Jericho and those guys that came up eventually into WWE still made contact. So you watched it. You kept an eye on it.
And Stonewall, you've been pretty quiet. I know. I think you're a little bit shy.
I know I'm a little intimidated. I'm bringing sexy back, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just like,
Oh wait, no, don't let me do that. I'm all the time. I do that.
matter of fact, I watched On Demand last night with you in one of the matches.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Really? Can I say one word?
Go ahead.
Royalties.
All I know you walking down with some chick, that's all I remember.
What's it? It must be.
Was it Ivory or one of the hoes?
Ivory.
Oh, yeah.
That's right, it was Ivory. 'Cause Ivory went against
Deborah?
Deborah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, there's D'Lo right there. There's his head.
Yeah, that was one of, you know, Ivory is still a really friend of mine to this day. And I just talked to her probably about 2 weeks ago. And she actually just come back. I swear to God, this is no exaggeration. She came back from the Himalayas and she was out rescuing cats.
Cats.
Cats. In the Himalayas.
Wow.
Go figure.
That's something. You know.
Go figure.
You've been around, I guess, they call it the creative team in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about gimmicks and characters, what's the worst ideas, characters that you heard or that they suggested to you?
One I did where I was a Hindu.
Really?
Chaz and I looked like Aladdin. We got put with Tiger LA Singh, so that was the worst. That was and I've said this 1,000 times, you know, I've always been proud and you know, show a lot of respect and honor to be a pro wrestler. But when I had to put a purple turban on and green pants, I was embarrassed to go home and look at my neighbors in the face, because that just wasn't wrestling to me.
Actually, I still kind of vaguely remember those I've seen promos, you know, taking fans and eating dog poo or
Well, that's just,
bills.
yeah, I'm just a big spin on the $1 million man thing, but anyway, that's a down point in my career.
Now,
Really down point.
I mean, this is the next question. It's a little bit touchy for you. It's about draws.
Mm-hmm.
The incident of again that botched powerbomb.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain a little bit for the audience what it was?
You know, to this day, you know, we talked about it several times. It's one of those things that it was one of those moves that didn't work. We actually watched it and just couldn't figure out what happened. Contrary to popular belief, there was no banana peel in the ring or no water in the ring. It was one of those days something happened. Like I said, we've talked about it, and to this day, neither of us can figure out what exactly went wrong.
You know, draws. Looking at his profile today on obsessedwithwrestling.com, I thought he could have been a good superstar. You know,
he had potential to do some good things. He had good character, and he was a very serviceable worker. And you know, he just needed more time in the ring. And unfortunately, you know, we all take the same chance getting in the ring that injury could end your career and your life, because people think it's, you know, it's all sports entertainment, but it's very dangerous sports entertainment.
Yeah, it's real honor that. It's real disappointing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
A luckily that match did not air on SmackDown.
No, literally the minute it happened, that we all knew that would never make air.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was one of those things that happened, and knock on wood, it doesn't happen more often. And we're glad for that.
And recently they, I guess you don't really notice this on TV. I don't think I do, but they don't really do high risk maneuvers in WWE anymore because of getting injured.
Well, just because over the last, and I'll say 10 years, there's been a rash of neck injuries and back injuries, and it's become such crash and burn TV where the bumps have become bigger and the moves have become greater that guys' careers have become shorter and shorter and shorter. So there's been an unwritten rule to back off a little bit, not take it to high risk. You can still do pretty things and acrobatic things, just don't have to do 48 flips in the air.
Right, like your low down and stuff, frog splash.
That's an easy move, but you don't have to go up to a shooting star press like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
There's no need for that. So.
Get on that a little bit. When you had the chest protector, your ribs were injured.
Yeah, we had done a situation where, and it was setting up a match, and I believe it was King of the Ring or something like that, where Dan Severn had injured my pecs, my pectoral muscles, and basically it was a gimmick to give me a little more character and develop my character a little more. So they came with this idea of putting this chest protector on. Considering my finish was a frog splash, we can put this thing on him, and it's an added weapon, protection weapon. So Dan Severn injured me several weeks earlier, and then it came down to The Rock and Dan Severn. I think we were in Pittsburgh, and it was King of the Ring, and Dan Severn was getting into The Rock, and out of nowhere, here I come sliding in, and I hit him with this god darn chest protector, as Jim Ross would call it. And
oh my God,
where's that on his chest? And so then that was the start of Dlo Brown, a little cocky, little pain in the ass.
Yeah. Speaking of Severn is a UFC fighter, mixed martial arts, and did he ever teach you guys in the back any moves?
We've been talking about different things. You really can't. You can incorporate some of the mixed martial arts stuff, but it's very difficult to take moves that are pretty much laying down moves and put them where they look good enough to be pro wrestling moves. It just doesn't work right. Yeah,
I heard on, I believe it was our wrestling fail around here, I guess I'm calling him a journalist, crime fighter, told me the other night that Hulk Hogan was saying something about UFC and mixed martial arts being fake. What's your opinion on that?
I've seen some of those guys, and I've seen what they look like after fights. I've seen K1 live in Tokyo, and I've seen, Pride live, and, I've seen real fights, and I've seen them. If it is fake, if it is predetermined, they're doing a damn good job of it. So, it just looks, it looks good to me, so that's all I can say.
Stonewall, you got anything to say?
Well, we could, what do you think about that? Quote unquote, I guess, new wrestling federations on MTV, WSX.
I'll be honest, I have never, ever watched a second of it. I mean, it's just through, being busy, but I don't even know what time it comes on.
Actually, time this coming week, there's going to be a huge marathon. Shown the last episode.
The following week after that, I guess it's going to be the final episode.
Okay, so it's already been canceled, or is it going off the air?
Yeah, because of the geniuses at MTV, like they are,
You know what? Genius at MTV, but ratings tell, and they're genius at MTV, and they're like the same geniuses that came with the Real World and Road Rules, which were all great hits, and maybe this thing didn't work for them.
I guess it's pretty much who your audience is, because those are mostly teenagers.
And maybe that, wrestling demographic covers teens, but maybe
not those.
They don't want to, that's not the music video teen demographic. So it just didn't work. I mean, you can't fault them for trying. You can't fault them that it got pulled off or canceled or what have you, but it's just, give an A for effort for trying.
What do you think about like ultra-violent wrestling, like Combat Zone or IWA and Mid-South? Ian Rodman's promotion.
I think wrestling like that has its place. I just think a whole fed out of it is not necessarily a good thing. just like hardcore has its place. But 8 hardcore matches in a row kind of is boring.
Right.
Same thing, I mean, so many times we can get hit with a bat upside the head, or break light bulbs, or hit with bob wire. So many times you can do that. People going, ooh, no, okay, I've seen it. You know, so
you have to reinvent yourself.
yeah, and then guys who are talking about doing a flip, I'd rather do 48 flips and land on my head than get hit with bob wire once. I mean, it's just talk about wear and tear on your body.
What's your fondest memory, a road memory? Not on TV, but a road, like one of the guys. What's your fondest memory?
Anytime being on Owen Hart, because he was the biggest practical joker on the planet. I remember one time, Owen was such a great practical joker and a great wrestler, that he was in the middle of the ring, wrestling. Same time, he's untying his opponent's tights and boots. And then he's tying the referee's laces together. And no one knows it. Then the referee falls flat on his face and the guy's tights fall down. And this is all in the middle of an 8-minute match. So Owen was just a great practical joker. So anytime I can tell an Owen Hart story, it brings a smile to my face.
Of course, former member of Nation of Domination, which you were a part of.
Most fondest memory in wrestling is the Nation of Domination.
Wow. Tell me a little bit about those early days in WWE.
They were kind of cool. You know, we had that rock star feel because we were in the Monday Night Wars, and we creeped up on WCW and then beat them for about a period of 2 years. We were just, the cat's meows. Everything you did was fun, and you were always in front of sold-out buildings. And as a young kid, I'm in the ring looking across at Steve Lawson, looking across at Undertaker. I'm like, wow, how did I get here? So it's just really, really fun and great memories. And I have 10,000 pictures that remind me of it every day.
Yeah. What's your favorite place to wrestle? Around favorite place in Madison Square Garden?
My favorite place is the Rosemont in Chicago now, the All-State Arena, and followed closely by Madison Square Garden.
Well, what's it like wrestling Madison Square Garden? Knowing all the legends, the Sheik, Hogan.
The thing about Madison Square Garden is a dump, but to be inside there, you're not wrestling your opponent, you're wrestling all those legends that have come before you. And you're not just wrestling legends, you're playing against Muhammad Ali, you're playing against the great Knicks teams, the great Ranger teams, so you're playing against all those ghosts. And if you can, and then add in the fact that you're in front of the most cynical crowd in the world, and if you can get over Madison Square Garden, there's no place in this planet you can't get over.
Of course, one of my fondest memory is Madison Square Garden is, you may remember this, happened, the anniversary was a couple days ago, is when Mae Young gave birth to the Hand.
Oh, God. That's one of your fondest memories of Madison Square Garden?
Well,
Hold on, wait. Cut. Time out. Let me put this in some order. You mean Jimmy Snuka jumping off the top of the cage, Bruno San Martino losing the World Heavyweight Championship, the birth of Hulkamania, WrestleMania, and the Hand. That all fits together?
Well, let's see. There's only one time that the Hand was giving birth on live TV.
Okay, you, my friend, you need to see a doctor because you got some issues.
I know, I got an appointment like tomorrow.
Yeah, just stay on that side of the room.
That's why we put Stonewall in the middle right here.
Ooh, oh man.
Well, it was like one of the most outrageous moments on Monday Night Raw in the past 12 years, I think.
That's not even a moment that jumped in my mind as the top 1,000, but hey, if it works for you.
Well,
I think you have a little fetish for a hand, don't you?
Oh, no, kind of. I'm also attracted to blondes.
I'll leave that.
Okay, we're going to get off that a little bit.
I'll leave that one.
Get off that subject.
Okay, we got a couple minutes left in the show.
Okay, go ahead.
Someone wanted to ask you.
Since you've been wrestling for 12, 13 years, what has been your best ever match that you ever faced against the opponent?
Ironically, at Square Garden, SummerSlam 98, myself, Val Venus, European title.
Yeah.
My favorite match of all time. And you can ask Val Venus his favorite match of all time. So if I had to pick one match that was the highlight of my career, it was that match.
Wow. Yeah. Thanks for joining us on Ringside Chat. It's been an honor.
There's that
Thanks a lot, dude.
My pleasure. Thank you, guys.
For the future Hall of Famer and co-owner of the Stallions, the old downtown Dlo Brown.
The one and only.
Yeah.
You better recognize.
Yeah. Stonewall, Dirt. We're out.
Go Stallions.